Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how to deploy a Django RESTful API to the cloud using PythonAnywhere.com. You understand? So there is how it works here. So some weeks back I showed you guys how to build a RESTful API for an e-commerce web application. So you're going to deploy that RESTful API to the cloud through PythonAnywhere. Hope you understood. So right now we need to add some configurations to our code. You get? So we need to add configuration for our styling. You get? So go down to your settings on Pi. So you need to make sure if you don't do this, your app is going to get deployed, but it's going to look quite ugly. You understand? That's why you need to configure our static files to work on PythonAnywhere. Hope you understand. So right now what I want to do, I want you to go down to I need you to install white noise. So I'm coming, let me just show you the configuration here. You can follow white noise. Right now I am on white noise documentation, so you can use them as a guide to configure your static files. So first of all, you need to install white noise on this command called pip install white noise. It's important you do that. So once you've run the command, I think I have white noise installed for myself. So once it's installed, so next again you need to make sure you add this white noise middleware just under the security middleware in your middleware list. You understand? So go over to your settings.py, just scroll up where you have the middleware. So just here you can see it. So I'm going to simply uncomment my own. So once you've done that, what's the next step again? You need to also add these static files underscore storage. It says here if you want forever cacheable files and compression support, it says you just add this to your settings.py. Let's add this to our settings.py. Just copy that to settings.py. Okay, just under where we have the static URL, just where we have our here, let's add it there. Okay, and one more thing again, we're not done. Click on using white noise with Django on the left panel, click on it. So once you're on that, now I need to also add our static root. This is super important. Hope you get. So let's add this. You can read what it does. You just read about it up here. So this folder called static files is going to hold all our static files, all our CSS and JavaScript in production. So you need to just add this also, copy, and then come over here. So if you don't do this, your API is going to get deployed, but it's going to come out looking ugly. You understand? It should come without styling, without any form of styling. So we need to just add this static configurations to make our API look good in the cloud. You get? So I've pasted that there. So we have all this, everything is working fine. So lastly, make sure you have white noise in your requirement.txt file. So how do I go about that? So I'm simply on this command pip freeze. So make sure you pip freeze, then requirements.txt. So we need to create a requirement.txt file. This file helps to hold all your dependencies for this project, you understand, and it's very, very important for deployment. So make sure you run this command after you've done all your installations. You get? So enter. So you're going to create a file for us called requirement.txt. So once it's done, we proceed. So you can see we have this file now. Yeah, you can see this file holds everything we need for our project, all the dependencies. You see, you get? So make sure you run this command. Once we've done this now, next thing to do now, go down to PythonAnywhere.com. PythonAnywhere. Let's create an account on PythonAnywhere.com. Okay, so currently I'm going to log out. I have this account there, so I'll just log out this account. So I'm going to create a new account right now. You get? So let's just sign up in the new account. So I'm going to create a beginner account. So this account is free of charge. You can see we have different plans. We have the ARCA plan, the web dev, the startup. So it depends on what if you can pay for these plans, is good for you. But with beginner account is very, very limited, but we are going to use it to get. So create a beginner account. So I'm going to simply create my account now. Once I'm done, we'll continue. Okay, so I think I'm back now. So register, and the free accounts can only okay, let me just remove that there. So let's register again. so it's going to take quite some time. So it's taking. Let me just put REST API, make it 2. So and register. Hope this works this time. So let's just wait for it. Okay, it's done now. So click on this enter, click on it to remove the modal. So click on it. So this is how it works here. So for me now, so this beginner account you're using can only host a single web app. You understand? So that's what it can do. So if you want to host several web apps for free, you can create multiple accounts to host several of your applications for free. Hope you understand. So that's it now. So right now we have our account on PythonAnywhere. I forgot something. So once you are done with all this on your code, make sure you push your code to GitHub. Understand? Push your code to GitHub. I forgot to do that. So I already have my own code on GitHub. So I'm going to simply just update. I'm going to simply update the repository on GitHub. You get. So if you don't have your code on GitHub, go there, create an account, log in, and then create a repository for your project, and then push your code to GitHub. You get. So if you don't know how to push your code to GitHub, I'm going to drop a video in this video description whereby you are going to learn how to push your Django code to GitHub. It's simple, you get. So don't worry if you can't do that. So right now I'm going to push my code to GitHub and we continue. So push your code to GitHub, and once you've done that, you can proceed, you get. So right now we're going back to our PythonAnywhere dashboard. So let's continue. So first of all, click on this bash, click on it, bash, yeah, click on it. It's going to open a bash console for us. So it's coming up, so we have that there. So I'm going to, so now let me show you my code. Let me go down to my repositories, repo. So do it to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe, super important. Okay, we are here already. Let me show some things. So we are trying to deploy this repository on PythonAnywhere, this drf _tutorial. We're trying to deploy it on PythonAnywhere. Okay, now so our bash is open. So what do we do now? So first of all, we need to clone our repository. We need to clone this. What's it called again? Go down to GitHub. So we need to clone this repository here. Click on it. Okay, it's here. So we need to clone this repository. So let's copy this code. Okay, copy. So go down to your bash console. So say git clone. Paste the link there and enter. So it's cloning. So done. So once it's done cloning now, so what's the next thing? So right now let's see the current working directory. So we're going to say pwd. So right now, okay, we are here. So I want to see the content of this. Let's see the content of this directory we are in. So just put in ls. Okay, now so we have the rf tutorial. Okay, that's fine. Okay, that's good. So once we've done this now, before we proceed now, let's create a virtual environment. I'm going to call it mk make virtual env. So I'm trying to create a virtual environment for our deployment. So I'm going to call this virtual environment venv. You can call it whatever name you like, but make sure you remember the name of your virtual environment. Make sure you remember the name of your virtual environment. It's really important. Whatever name you want to choose is fine. I'm calling my venv. So you can call yours something else, but make sure you remember the name. Understand? So enter. So currently we're going to have a virtual environment created for us. So it's going to take quite some time, but we have to wait to get to. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so right now our virtual environment has been created. So you can see it was created and also activated. Understand? Okay, so what you need to do now is you need to make sure. Okay, so right now our virtual environment has been created. Hope you understood. And it's called venv. It was created and activated. venv. Hope you understand. So I'm going to clear what we have. Let me clear everything. Clear. So I want to clear out. Okay, it's called clear. So enter. Okay, perfect. Now so I've cleared up the top. So right now what we've done so far, first of all we cloned our GitHub repository. First of all, you have to clone your GitHub repository. After you've done that, you have to then create a virtual environment. Hope you understand. So that's what you need to do. So right now let's put in ls again. We want to see the content of this current directory we are in. So currently this is the content. So right now this is our repository called DR tutorial. This folder holds all our source code. If you see from GitHub, this folder you see here, DR tutorial, DRF tutorial, it holds all this code you see there. Hope you get. So so now I need to go into the folder. I'm going to say cd and now say drf underscore tutorial. So enter. So yeah, I'm there now. So once I'm here, so what I want to do now is this. I want to simply install all the dependencies in my requirement.txt file. So just put an ls. Let's see what we have there. So right now I can't find my requirement.txt file. Okay, so I need to make sure it's added. So 1 minute. Okay, so I was saying I'm looking for my requirement.txt file, the requirement.txt file I created, but I can't find it here. So I'm going to go back to my code again. It's not also here. I don't know if it got deleted. So let's just do that again. It's called pip freeze, right? So for you might have yours there. For me, I didn't get mine. So I think it's back again because this file is really important to get. So I'm going to push back to GitHub now. So let's push back it. So it's called git add. Then for you might not face this error that I just faced. You might not face it. So I'm going to push now. Once I push again, so we are going to continue git push origin main. So you should push to GitHub. Once it's done pushing to GitHub, okay, I think it's just pushed already. You can see right now I've made some changes to my code now. So I'll come back to my bash. Here we are. So now currently we don't have the changes to currently I made some changes to the code and I pushed to GitHub. So right here I need to pull those changes. I need to pull the changes again. I need to pull it. So I'm going to say ls. So I need to pull it. I'm going to say git pull. So I need to pull the changes I made to GitHub. Git pull. So right now I've been able to pull the changes. Everything works fine. So if I put in ls again, so right now I can see I have my requirement.txt file. That's fine, right? So right now I need to install all the dependencies in this file. So I'm going to say pip install. So whenever you make a change to your code, you come back to your console here. Make sure you are inside of your project directory, which is this DRF tutorial. Make sure you are inside of your repository. Instead, once you are there, you can then pull. You can then run the command called git pull. So right now I want to install all the dependencies in this file. So I'm going to say pip install -r, then requirements.txt. So pip install -r requirement.txt, enter. So you're going to install everything, all the dependencies in this file. So it's going to take quite some time. Let's wait for it as it loads up. Okay, so let's see, there's no problem. So you should run. Okay, so right now it's been able to install the requirement.txt file, the codes there, the dependencies in the file. We got to a point, it threw an error. It says cannot install Django REST framework simple JWT. Okay, so to avoid this error again, let's go down to our code now. Go down to your code, go down to your requirement.txt file. So we're going to simply comment it out. Let's comment it. Where is it? Just comment it out because I think it comes with Josa. So just comment it. Okay, so right now we need to push our code again to GitHub. Hope you get. So let's again push to GitHub. Once we push GitHub, we go down to our dashboard on PythonAnywhere, and then you run git pull. So let's push to GitHub again. So push. So we git push origin main. Okay, we've been able to push to GitHub again. So back here, we need to run git pull. Make sure you're in this directory. Make sure you're in your project directory before you run git pull. Make sure you're in your project directory instance. So you will see this main that stands for a branch on your repository. Yes, so just run git pull. Let's open git pull. So git pull, let's see. So we've been able to pull our changes again. So right now again, we need to run the command pip freeze, so pip install rather. So let's see. Oh, everything works fine this time. So I have to remove that. So I have to remove the JWT, this JWT that was causing error, because it comes pre-installed with JOSA. If you check closely, I have JOSA up here, so it comes pre-installed with JOSA. So let's not worry about that. So you scroll, so it's still installing. So just wait for it till it's done. So it's still installing. So just wait. Okay, it's done. Cycle PG. Okay, so right now we are done with installing the dependencies for this project. We are done with installing all the dependencies for our project, you guys. So we are going to continue right now. So I'll simply duplicate this tab. Duplicate. So it's been duplicated. So it's coming up. So right now, simply just go back. Click on this back button. Okay, now since we are here now, the next thing to do now is click on this open web tab. Open it. Once you're there, click on add a new web app. Scroll down here, click on next. So we are going to go with the manual configuration. If you go with Django, you are going to PythonAnywhere is going to give you a Django boilerplate if you choose Django. So right now we are trying to deploy our own code, our own custom code. So you have to go down with, you have to choose manual configuration. So once you've done that, choose the latest version 3.10, 3.10. Click on next. So it's loading. Once it's done loading, so we are here now. So just scroll down. So we are going to enter the path to our virtual environment. Let's enter it. I called my VENV. So remember what you called yours. Click on this. Okay, it's there. Also there, just above this virtual env, you'll see this WSGI configuration. Click on it. It's coming up. I think my network is quite slow. Okay, we are here. So just scroll down till you find Django. So you can see Django up here. So yeah, we are going to move just here. So we need to, so right now this all of this is commented, so we need to remove some of the comments. So like this import OS, remove the comment there. Import OS, import sys, remove it. So for the path also, remove the comment. For the if statement, remove the comment. For this also, remove. OS.env run, remove. And from Django, remove. And this application here, remove the comment. So the other part is for Flask. Right now we're working with Django. Also done removing the comment. So just where we have this is our manage.py, this part here. So now right saying to replace my site with the name of the folder that holds our manage.py file. Right now I need to replace this my site to see here with the name of the folder that holds your manage.py file. So if you go down to your if you come back here, so you just click on clear. So click on, just put in ls. So ls, now you can see ls stands for the content. So right now this DIY tutorial holds the file called manage.py. This DIY tutorial said holds this file called manage.py file. If you go down to GitHub, the same thing. You can see our folder is called DIY tutorial, and instead of this folder we have the file called manage.py. You get manage.py. So right now go back to coming from here. So go back here. The folder is called what? Let's be sure of it again. drf_tutorial. So back here, drf_tutorial. So once we've done that, now the last thing for us to do now is this. Now if you come over here, right now we have my site.settings. So you need to go down, pick the folder that holds your settings.py file. For us now, or you could go down to GitHub. The folder that holds my settings.py file is called e-commerce. That's the folder that holds my settings.py file. So I'm trying to see that. You can see we have that here instead of the folder called e-commerce. So now go down to where we come back here again. So we're going to replace my site with e-commerce. You get e-commerce. Hope you get. So make sure you don't mix this up. For the first one, that's the folder that holds your manage.py file. Second one is the folder that holds your settings.py file. Once you're done with all this, make sure you click on the save button on top here. Click on it on the top right corner, click on save. Once it's done saving, okay, I think it's done saving. So let's go back. Okay, so you're back here again. So the next thing for us to do now is, okay, so you can copy this domain. This is our domain. This is our domain. Just copy it. Copy. So once you are back here, copy this domain. Click on files. So click on DRF tutorial. Click on DRF tutorial. Once you're there, click on. Right now we want to access our settings.py file. So now click on e-commerce. That's where we have it. E-commerce. Then settings.py file. So just where we have, okay, you can see this right now. This is our right now this allowed host. You're going to remove what we have here and put the domain I copied. The domain I copied, put in that domain, paste it. Yeah, so yes, that's it. Once you've done this now, I think you can save your work. Save. I think it's done saving. So save now. Come back here. Okay, so click on dashboard. Okay, we are back here. Click on open web tab again. So right now reload. So you need to reload this thing. Click on this reload button. It's necessary. Whenever you make any changes to your code, you have to git pull and then come back here and click on this reload button before your changes can reflect. So necessary you click on the reload button. So right now it's reloading. Once it's done reloading, we can then access our REST API in the cloud. So let's wait for it to be done reloading. Taking quite some time. Okay, it's done. So what's happening? So click on this is your domain. Right click on this, open link in new tab. Page not found. That's because you need to go down to /API. That is how you can access it. /API. So now right now you can see this is our RESTful API has been deployed to the cloud and is looking good. And you check each of these endpoints, you can see we can access the product endpoint right there. You can see the product. This is the product endpoint. If you go back to the API route, you can see everything is looking quite interesting. So right now I need to show you how to make updates to your code. Let's assume you pushed your code to. Let's assume you made some updates to your code. Let me show you. Okay, let me just try. I'm looking for where I could make some updates right there. Okay, UI.py file. Oh, sorry, I mistakenly clicked that. So I want to show you how to make some updates to the code now. So okay, I could just add a comment now. I could just say this is our URL. So this is our root URL file. This is our root URL file. So I'm going to show you how to update your code and pull that code on Jupyter on PythonAnywhere. So right now I've made some updates right here now. So I'm going to push this update to GitHub. Push git commit. So that's done. So what else? Let's push to GitHub. Git push origin main. So right now I just made an update to the code. Adding that comment. For you it can be a more meaningful update, but for me I'm going to show you something. Once I've made this update now, I'll go back to my where is it called? I have to go back to my console. Click on dashboard. Let's just clear this, guys. Click on dashboard. So click on this bash console. So let's run the git pull. So let's wait for it. Okay, so I'm gonna just clear up everything here. So now we've made an update, right? We've made an update. So for you can just simply run git add again. Git add. So avoid any form of errors. Git add, then git commit. Git commit. You can just say new code added. So and then run git pull. So git pull helps to pull your changes from GitHub. It pulls your changes. So I'm able to run git pull again. So and then for us to exit this, right now we're on a Vim console. So for you to exit this, just hold down, press column and then WQ, column WQ. Instead, so we are out of it. We've been able to pull our changes successfully. Everything is fine. So once you've done this, so for me, there's something I want to tell you guys now. So sometimes while trying to run git pull, it might ask for your username and password instance. So you might ask for your GitHub username and password. So you need to input your username, and for the password, you can't just input your password. It's not going to accept your password. You need to go and generate a token. You need to go generate a token from your GitHub account. I'll show you how to do that right now. So I'll just go back. Let me go back to my profile again. Let me show you how you can generate a token from your GitHub account. So click back on this on your profile. Click on your profile picture. Then click on settings. So there are times you might want to run git pull. It won't accept your password. It's time to go generate. It won't accept your GitHub password. You need to go generate a token. So click on developer settings. Once you're here now, you can see this personal access token. Click on this drop down. Click on tokens classic, and then up here you can generate a new token. You can click on this, generate new token for general use. Click on this and you have a new token. You have to save that token somewhere, because in future you might need that token to gain access to other platforms. You get, so save your token somewhere, copy your token, come back to your bash console, and then you can input the token as your password. That's it. So that's how it works. So once we've done that now, so we need to go back to our dashboard now. Click on the back button. So our dashboard. What's our dashboard now? So open web tab again. So you're on our dashboard currently. Click on the open web tab. I just clicked on that. So you need to reload this. Reload. So open a new tab. So page not found. That's because you need to go down to /API. So that's it now. We've been able to make some updates to our code. I just showed you how you can do that. It's not difficult at all. It's simple. So that's that. So that's it for that. So right now our RESTful API can be accessed on the cloud. If you go down to this domain, restapi.pythonanywhere.com/API, you'll be able to access your REST API. You understand? So that's it. So for you, you can simply not have to do without API there. You just go down to your UI.py file URLs. You can just simply change this to an empty string. You understand? So remember, there's an API. You're using API there, but if you remove this from there, you don't need to put in /API again. Remember, if you make these changes here, you have to push to GitHub, and once you push to GitHub, you have to pull on your PythonAnywhere console. You get. So I'm going to add it again, and everything is going to work for you. So right now, our code is working fine. Everything is working fine. Go down to you have to go down to /API. Okay, it's fine. Click on products. You see your products endpoint can be accessed on the cloud now. You click on categories. You see your categories endpoint. Everything is fine. So if you enjoyed this video, if you gained some value, please subscribe to my channel Code with Clinton. Like the video, and I would love to hear from you guys. Say something in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you for watching. So we'll see you in the next video.